Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review, and today's review is going to be on War of the Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Rodimus Prime. Now, this guy is a Commander class figure, so he's meant to be quite big. Well, not Titan class big, but still quite big, and in vehicle modes, he's definitely quite long, although in robot mode, well, we'll get there soon. Of course, we do have to look at the box. And oh my god, this box is huge. Once again, not as big as a Titan class box, but still, this is one of the biggest boxes I have so far. So here we can see that this is a windowless box. So yeah, they were doing this before Legacy, although it was just for the Commander and Titan boxes before then. So we got Rodimus in both modes here. Got his name in both English and Cybertronian. So this side we just see the Ark, which ironically was destroyed just after the movie. I think it was like the 5th episode of season 3. Thanks, Trypticon. Instead of the robot mode artwork, which is on this side, we just see a bit more of the vehicle mode. The back, we got Rodimus in all of his modes. So yeah, we've got Hot Rod standard alt mode there. We've got the Winnebago mode there. And we even have the Battle Station mode from the G1 toy, which is amazing. This side, we just have the standard mural here. That's pretty much all I have to say about the box. And the card. Well, the card I got for my copy of Rodimus, I got Optimus Prime. And peeling this, of course, it's Prime's death. How ironic I got this with Rodimus, eh? I guess this confirms that Hot Rod's the one responsible for Prime's death, eh? Seriously, that could have not been a coincidence. Well, looking at the actual figure now, this is definitely quite a long vehicle mode. I mean, you see, pretty accurate to the original as well, but we'll see that in the comparison. Yeah, having a 360 of it. See quite a lot of combat ports in the trailer. I mean, you've got like 3 here. There's one just right there. At the back there, which I'll show soon. So look, the flame detailing, which is thankfully not a sticker like it was in Power of the Primes. Got the main section, which, unlike the G1 figure, isn't a complete lie, because well, when you pull it out, it just shows Hot Rod's vehicle mode, as shown on the back of the box. The top, which, well, it's on camera it's behaving, but usually I have troubles trying to get it to close correctly, and from what I've seen, this is actually a widespread problem, so it's not just me this time, thankfully. But we've got 3 more combat ports here. The underneath. Yeah, like, this is quite, but there's a lot of stuff on Rodimus here, because it's quite an intricate transformation, whereas the trailer is quite simple, because it doesn't really form armor like it did in Power of the Primes. Now, for the trailer, what you can do is you can open this up, move this down, and this actually has the little ramp function. So if I just get Fangtron from my Nemesis Prime review, I didn't pause that because he was just so close to me. I'll just do a quick transformation on camera because it's that easy. Yeah. You just attach on either a bit of a modulator or one of the ramp battle masters, and you can have this going on. Or you can have a car just drive up. I'll just use the red alert for this. And thankfully, unlike Prime's trailer, they actually go in pretty snugly. This down, sorry. There we go. Yeah, they actually going pretty snugly in there. So unlike Prime, Rodimus can carry a figure in there quite tightly. Well, and it's not just oops. Frankly, I did knock my camera entirely off the table. But yeah, it's not just War for Cybertron trilogy figures. You can even do like older figures. For example, here I've got Classics Bumblebee. You just drive him on up in there, and keep in mind, deluxe figures were a bit bigger back in 2006, and he still fits in there pretty well. If you want to hold like a G1 figure like Skids here, because unfortunately as of the time of recording I don't have the Legacy Skids figure, although I do have my eye on it. So you can do that. Oops, as for like the bigger like G1 figures like the 86 onwards, I'm not sure. If you want to do like a G1 Movieverse crossover, let's do the Camaro Bumblebee. Not all Movieverse figures will fit in there. I tried Jazz and he didn't really fit in that well. Pretty sure there's some Studio Series figures will fit in there. If you want to do like another figure whose name starts with Hot, let's try Hot Shot. And yeah, he doesn't really have fit, so not all car formers are gonna fit. Try the Indiana Jones version, and no, he doesn't fit. Try a figure with the same deco, Excellion. So yeah, not every figure is gonna fit. But its main function is for the War for Cybertron trilogy, and I'm pretty sure like the Studio Series 86 figures. And that's cool, because this is something that the G1 Rodimus never did. Let's get red out of there. Now for this guy's accessories, well, we got what's usually the turret inside there, but I had to remove it for to put the other cars in there. You can store it in there, but I'm not going to do that for this video. But what you can do is, according to the instructions, well, you have to flip this out or something like that. I might be doing this wrong. We can do something like this, from what I remember. But there's any instructions, so. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Probably doing it wrong as well. But that's more for like the turret mode. But we also have this gun. Pretty much just a modernized version of the original G1 figures gun. Just compare those. See, it's definitely longer. It's got 2 ports instead of 1 this time. And if you want, this can take blast effects. So if you're stuck with like aimless ones, like I've been for the last couple months, although you shouldn't be, because another accessory that this guy comes with There's a bunch of blast effects. Seriously, this guy actually does come with blast effects, which I'm really happy about, because I've been stuck with aimless's ones for God knows how long, so getting some new blast effects after so long is just really fresh. So you can like make these huge blasts and just stick with these little ones. So instead of this little wispy red fire blast that aimless has, you can now just do straight bursts of energon. It looks like, and I think that looks way better. Or if you want to go overkill and just do that huge blast, although that doesn't really stick on that well. That's more for like when guns have the big ports. For example, like this. Even that kind of droops, but oh well. And finally, we got this sword. Why he has a sword, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's referencing a comic. The Legacy / Kingdom Core Hot Rod also has a sword, so I'm guessing that's just something that Hot Rod has now, or Rodimus. Although this actually does have weapon storage. You can store this underneath the vehicle mode, like so, which is nice because the Dwarven Cybertron Trilogy figures rarely ever have weapon storage. It's always just plonk the gun on top and just have it there. So yeah. And now for comparison, here he is with G1 Rodimus. And you can definitely see the size difference here. I mean, seriously, this guy's essentially the same length as this guy's trailer. That shows you how long this guy is. Oh, in fact, there's some extra accessories that I forgot to show because they're hidden in this little tray here. So we get this star here, that's for the robot mode. And we get, if I can remove these, which probably not going to be able to. Yep, these are actually, oh, there we go. If I just put the tray back. There we go. And I lost it. Oh, there we go. And what these are actual exhaust, bits of exhaust, I guess. And what these do is they go on the little pipes here. So it looks like he's actually driving along. That's bad for the environment. Well, it looks like it's bad for the environment, this smoke. I mean, it's still cool looking. I just realized this tire's being pushed up. That's for the transformation bit. Yeah, this diesel energy kind of thing. I'm pretty sure that's like bad for the environment or something. I'm not sure. I guess it's still cool though. And unlike the other blast effects, these are like plastic. Whereas this is like a rubber kind of thing. Yeah. I think this is like plastic as well. Well, that's pretty much it for the vehicle modes. Well, the combined vehicle mode. So if we just separate that, we'll get to the trailer later on. Now, if we have a look at the standard vehicle mode, this is pretty much just Hot Rod's standard vehicle mode, isn't it? If anything, it's a bit beefed up now. That's what I think. having a quick look at this. Yeah, not really much to see here. Huge spoiler. Got a combat port there, so if you want to like put a gun in there, then I suppose you could. So yeah. And comparing that with the cab section of G1 Rodimus, yeah, no competition, this is better. I mean, seriously. But well, getting down to the transformation for this guy, well, it's actually quite complicated. Or at least for me, although that's probably just because I suck at transforming figures at times. But well, if I just try and adjust this so it's tall enough. Let's just start by trying to get these tabs flipped around. Like so. So I got that. Untap the spoiler section, like so. Get the arms out the way. And we're just going to do the legs, because I find them to be one of the most tricky parts, aside from getting these tabs in. Although I find getting this guy into vehicle mode is a bit more fiddly, because you have to accordion them up instead of just like falling them down. But yeah, like you have to push up the wheel here, and then trying to push this in. So yeah, that's definitely quite hard. So if I can just open that up. Push in the wheel, and then push this entire section in. And, oh, I forgot to mention, these can also take that exhaust blast effect. I'm not going to retransform just to show you. There's other reviews that show it. And for some reason, this isn't going in. Yeah, it's not even going in for some reason. Probably because I'm on camera. It's fine. Just rotate out the waist there. Get all this down. Rotate this around. Get this down. Push these in, and they do come off quite easily. Rotate this bit with the arms. And this section is actually quite difficult. You want to orientate it in such a way where you can actually get this tabbed in. And this might take a couple minutes, so I'm going to pause here and do it on both arms. So if you just excuse me. There we go. That was surprisingly much easier than I expected. I don't know why. It's only much easier than the other times I've transformed it. But yeah, like, you want to orientate it so it's like this, and it tabs in. Get the head like this, and then just rotate it around. Push this bit in. Get that up. Want to try and get that tabbed in. Move this down, and you see this. You want to get that into this little port on the windshield, which I'll also do off camera. There we go. Just as I was talking, and we're nearly there. Just have to do the arms. I might have a bit mistransformed, but yeah, It's fine. If that model infuriates you, I'm very sorry. I'm not a good reviewer. There's a reason my videos don't really get that many views unless it's like a legacy figure, because, you know, those are the highly anticipated Transformers as of the time of recording. We'll just rotate that around. Open up the front wheel. And that pushes it in. And actually tabs into place, which is a very rare maneuver, which I'm pretty sure actually I'm pretty sure it actually first appeared in this figure. So yeah, just get the fist out the way, rotate that up. And then just transform the wheel quickly. Found the size a bit tricky to do. There we go. And here we have Rodimus in his robot mode. So yeah, that's definitely quite an intricate transformation. I mean, it is a Commander class figure, so of course it's intricate. And well, looking at the actual figure, I have him bending down just so we can fully see him in shot. And of course, this isn't fully clicking in because we're on camera. It's fine. I'll sort that after I'll sort that after recording. Well, having a look at the head, he looks a bit grumpy. I don't know, maybe he knows that people are blaming him for killing up Prime when it was really Megatron. Maybe that's why he looks upset. Or the fact that, despite how Jetfire and Skylynx were appropriately sized for Commander class, this guy's pretty much like the same size as like Galvatron or something, despite being Commander's priced. And I'm not going to go into the pricing things. Other people have before, like Astro Train and all that. But well, if we just give him his accessories, or well, the accessories that are appropriate for this part of the figure. So, for example, the gun. So I can just actually open up its hand, which is pretty cool. And I can just try and slide that in. There we go. And just give him the sword. So if he wants to be like He-Man, I guess. There we go. And of course, this can take blast effects. I'm just going to use the ones that came with this figure because, well, they'll be better than the ones that came with Aimless, that's for sure. Although, what I will use the Aimless blast effects for is the feet. As I said, I'm not getting rid of the laser feet, that's for sure. Although these seem to be not going in. Although that's probably just me being an idiot. There we go. So we can still do the laser feet. And in Rodimus' case, it's laser heels. Alright, now we can like give him high heels or something. Although that's gonna like bend it. Can't really use the smoke blast effects in there, so I'll just put them back in the tray on the trailer. Although there is another thing that you can do. I'll just remove the accessories here. Just like how Prime had a matrix, like the Kingdom / Earthrise Prime, what you can do is open this up, and, well, Rodimus here has a matrix of his own. So yeah, we can just get that out. Try and have him hold it. Well, first of all, just take this. Just try and plug that in. Knowing me, this might take a while. Knowing my incompetence of trying to pose this. So yeah, it's a bit low, but you can still replicate the scene where he first turns into Rodimus. You know, just when he's fighting Galvatron instead of Unicron. So that's cool. Something I'm never going to fully display, but still cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the Matrix inside of Rodimus at all times. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the actual robot mode. So if we just compare it with G1 Rodimus, and we can actually see, well, if we go up to the spoiler, these guys are actually about the same height. But yeah, the colors are definitely different. I mean, the legs are definitely a different color. The arms are a bit of a different color, especially with the hands. The G1 figure's got different color, the shoulder details. Yeah, definitely different details. And well, the articulation in this guy, well, the head could look up. And I think I forgot to show the articulation on Nemesis Prime. Oops. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as it Siege Prime, but oh well. I'll make up for that by showing the articulation on this guy. Well, the head's on a ball joint, so it can look up, it can look down, he can actually tilt his head, and most importantly, he can look around. The arms can, of course, move, although hindered by the spoiler. Of course, he can T-pose, although not fully. Got an elbow joint, and a swivel there. The hands can actually open. That hand, he can actually point. Got waist joint. Like go forward that far, back not that far because it's hindered by that. Do the splits up to there. Got ankle pivots up to there. It's got slice swivel. And he's got a knee joint. Oh yeah, and he's got these little hip skirt joints. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the main figure. And this is usually where I'd end the review. But keep in mind, we do have the trailer. And well, back with the G1 trailer, you would just open this up, get this out, and then you just plug in little side pieces. That's like the little blast shields. Well, with the Kingdom trailer, it's a bit more involved with that. First of all, we've got this little storage compartment. Right now I can probably put the cubes from Nemesis Prime in there. Of course, as I mentioned, we've got the little storage compartment for a car. If you don't have the battle station in there. But of course, as the box showed, you can replicate the battle station mode. And to do that, we're just going to crack it open. So, get this and just rotate that around. Just get that down like so. And here we are. And you can just see there's a shit ton of combat ports here. Like, seriously, there's just tons here. So you can definitely put your weapons in there if you don't have the little turret there. Well, speaking of the turret, we can just get this little port out. We can get that in. So that's more authentic. Then we can just raise that up. Flip the shield down instead of plugging them in. And if you can't see it because it's quite tall, we can now just raise up some little handles. And now I can just place Rodimus on here. In fact, what I'm going to do is, for the sword, I'm just going to store that on his back, like some sort of, I can't remember what the term is, scabbard, I think. There we go. So I'll just put Rodimus on here, have him hold the actual turret. For the gun, he can't really hold that because he's busy with the turret, so I'll just fold that up and plug this into here. For the other blast effects, I'll just put them back in the bag where I keep them. Although, for this, I'm going to take these and plug them into the turret. And now we have this going on. And I think that looks really cool. So just trying to have a 360 of this. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to pull this off. Yeah, I think this looks really cool. I think it's a great homage to G1. Speaking of what, I'm gonna put my camera down for this. Because, well, I don't have like 4 arms, so I just get the G1 figure on here. Here is the G1 figure with the turret. So you can definitely see the inspiration with a cameo from Armada, Smokescreen, Blur, and Hoist, and Refute. Yeah, I definitely prefer the Kingdom version, although that's just my opinion, because I think it looks a bit more complete with the little ramp there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Complaints? Well, I find the transformation a bit too complicated at times. Sorry, I'm just resting my arm. Yeah, I find the transformation a bit too complex at times. Like, some parts clash a bit too easily. For example, like the legs, in my opinion. Because keep in mind, I'm struggling to get this bit in. What else? The trailer doesn't really close that well, although that is a widespread issue. I found that, like, something I forgot to mention is there was a gap with the pipes. Like, that was a molding decision, not an actual problem with my figure, but it's still a noticeable thing. Well, do I recommend this figure? If you can afford it, then yes. Because I still think that this is a really nice figure. Although, one thing I don't get is Hasbro Pulse has this on well, like Hasbro Pulse has this figure for like £92. What the hell? I bought this guy for like what, £60 from a shop, and I think that's a way better price. I'm not sure if it feels like on sale or what, but yeah, I think £92 is a bit too much. So that's why I say get it if you can afford it. Because, well, it is flawed. I still really like this figure. But yeah, I would not pay 90 something pounds for this. I say as I have the Earthrise Ironhide Prowl 2-pack. But well, this has been my review on Kingdom Rodimus Prime. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.